Hi there. Welcome to my channel. This channel ponders interesting questions and sometimes offers a real tangible answer. Other times, it leaves the listener to decide. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments for questions you would like answered, or simply pondered upon. Also, whilst I have you here, most of our listeners are not subscribers. So if you like my content, please hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully with your help, I can reach my target audience. This is a YouTube channel created with AI and is being fed the questions and specific talking points and pointers from its creator. Please do provide some feedback to help us evolve the channel to be even better. Sorry for the long intro. That's it for now. Let's get on to the question. Thank you. What jobs can AI not replace? I keep coming back to that exact question because it sounds simple, but it isn't. It's not really one question. It's a bundle of smaller ones. Like, not replace in what sense? Not replace at all, or not replace cheaply, or not replace without something important going missing. There's this feeling that we're right at the start of it. Not the start of computers, not the start of the internet, something else. A shift where work that used to be safe, because it was technical, or written, or time-consuming, suddenly isn't safe in the same way. I think about entry-level legal work, the kind that's not glamorous, but it's how people get in, reviewing, summarizing, filling out forms, drafting basic documents. A lot of it is pattern and language and templates, and AI is very comfortable there. So the question turns into another one. If the bottom rung gets thinner, what happens to the ladder? And then I wonder if protected jobs is even the right frame, because nothing is protected forever, not by skill alone. Some people who study this for a living keep repeating a similar idea. AI doesn't take jobs so much as it takes tasks. Economists and labor researchers say that a role is usually a bundle of tasks that change over time, and AI can swallow a few of those tasks quickly, especially the ones that are repetitive, text-heavy, or rules-based. But a job survives at least for a while when the remaining tasks still matter and still need a person. So what jobs can AI not replace? Maybe it's the jobs where the tasks that are hardest to automate are the core of the work, not the edges. There's a category I keep thinking about, work that is grounded in real physical environments, not just manual labor, because AI plus robotics can do plenty, but the kind of physical work that happens in messy, unpredictable settings. Homes, old buildings, a busy kitchen, a hospital ward at 3 a.m., a construction site when the weather changes, places where the world doesn't hold still and the inputs aren't neat. Trusted technical organizations that track robotics progress often point out that robots do well in controlled spaces, like warehouses with standardized paths. But in the wild, the long tail of weird cases is huge. A pipe that doesn't match the plan, a patient who can't explain what's wrong clearly, a child who won't stay still, a door that sticks, a smell that signals something's off. So maybe for a long time, jobs that require adaptive physical presence keep their human center. And then there's the social side, work where the whole point is trust, where the relationship is the product. In a way, people in organizational psychology talk about trust as something built through consistency and shared context. And I noticed that even when AI can generate a good answer, it doesn't automatically generate trust, at least not the kind that holds when things go wrong. So mediation, certain kinds of teaching, care work, coaching, not because AI can't talk, it can talk, but because these jobs are full of reading between the lines and responding to what isn't said, and dealing with fear and embarrassment and status, and also being accountable in a human way. Accountable is a big word here. What jobs can AI not replace? Maybe the jobs where someone has to stand behind a decision, not just output a decision, but own it. Sign their name, be questioned, be responsible when the stakes are real. Law is interesting because parts of it are language and patterns, and parts of it are judgment under uncertainty. A trusted legal association recently warned that generative tools can sound correct while being wrong, and that this creates new risks around verification and professional duty. So maybe AI changes what junior lawyers do, but it doesn't fully remove the need for a licensed person to take responsibility. Still, the scary part is the pipeline. If AI eats the beginner tasks, how do beginners become seniors? That's not a small issue. It's the structure of professions. Now coding. People often say coding is pure logic, so AI will replace it. But when I listen to engineers who work in big systems, they describe coding as only partly about writing code. A lot of it is clarifying what the problem even is, negotiating requirements, understanding constraints, knowing what to ignore, maintaining something over years, and dealing with the cost of being wrong. Major industry researchers have been saying that software work will shift toward oversight, integration, and architecture more than pure typing. So the job changes, less from scratch boilerplate, more reviewing, more steering, more security thinking, more what happens when this hits the real world. Accounting feels similar. On paper it's numbers, but in practice it's also interpretation, compliance, ethics, and local rules, and the awkward human conversations, the parts where someone needs to ask quietly what exactly happened here, and whether this is a mistake or something else. A lot of the trusted commentary from audit and risk bodies is cautious. Automation reduces routine work, but it also shifts the role toward assurance and judgment. And judgment is a slippery word. It means noticing when the spreadsheet looks fine, but the story doesn't. So what jobs can AI not replace? I keep landing on a kind of answer that isn't a list. It's more like a set of traits. Jobs are harder to replace when they involve complex responsibility, physical presence in unpredictable environments, deep context over time, human trust and care, and the ability to make trade-offs when there isn't a clean right answer. And even then, not replace might be too strong. It might be not fully replace, or not all at once, or not without changing the job into something else. Because the uncomfortable thought is, some jobs might stay, but fewer people do them, or the path into them changes, like the latter again. If I'm honest, I don't think the safe zone is mathematical or non-mathematical. It's not that simple. AI is good at patterns, and math has patterns, but AI is also good at language, and law is language. So the dividing line is not the subject, it's the setting, and the stakes, and the need for accountability. And I keep wondering what we actually mean by replace. If AI can do 60% of the work, is that replacement? If it changes hiring so entry roles shrink, is that replacement? If it becomes a tool everyone uses, does the job still exist, just reshaped? I'm not sure. I think the only stable answer is the question itself, repeated. What jobs can AI not replace? And then asking it again next year and the year after, because the boundary moves. If there are jobs that feel human only, I look to hear which ones come to mind and why. It feels like a conversation that's better when more people describe what they see from where they stand. That's about it from me. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you have any thoughts, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.